Long have we waited for the sweet, sweet return of Path of Exile, Ultimatum's League mechanic to PoE. All the totally real hints point toward the wave-based risk versus reward mechanic coming back to the game after 3.22 in 3.23. Here's a hint for what's coming later in the video. We're finally gonna receive Delve, but up. Now. There might be dozens of exiles who think the Trial Master's return was going to be the last of Ultimatum's re-implementation into the game, despite legions of players deeply enjoying the actual mechanic. Given the questions to Triple G have continued about Ultimatum's return after the Trial Master was dropped into PoE with the Tower of Ordeals unique map and all his associated uniques, and Chris Wilson has never shot down the entire return, I'm inclined to think the dozens of exiles who think it's never coming back are wrong. In fact, one of the last shared interviews with Chris Wilson around the entire ExileCon, Gamescom, PAX West circuit, the interviewer, Loepi, asked him about Ultimatum coming back. Now, if Ultimatum wasn't ever returning as a mechanic, what would be the smart move from Chris? Saying exactly that? Or stating they were still considering what they would like to do with Ultimatum? That didn't happen. Instead, Chris Wilson, the savior of ARPGs, the prophet of loot, and the propeller of the blessed vision, said this.
Now, with Ultimatum, maybe the game is a bit more ready. For Ultimatum, I suspect you'll hear more news soon.
Fellow exiles, I know I'm totally not reading too much into this. I'm not inhaling tanks of copium, and I haven't even bought any hopium as of late. Therefore, my conclusion is simple. Ultimatum is finally returning in expansion 3.23, which will hit in early December 2023. Okay, since that is 100% completely confirmed and not at all extrapolation, this is where the speculation begins. Because I do not think Ultimatum will return exactly as it was implemented during its own league. Instead, Ultimatum is going to be an entirely new endgame addition to PoE, alongside mapping in the Atlas to fight eldritch horrors, delving in the Azurite mine to find those cracked fossils, stealing special gems and base types in various heist missions, slaying Lycia over and over and over again in the Forbidden Sanctum, and smashing totems endlessly in the Trial of the Ancestors tournament, which is totally going core with Tattoo's next league. Let's hope. With this bold speculation asserted, now let me outline the foundation of what I think Ultimatum will look like as a full endgame system. I have no spoilers. Really, it breaks down into 3 parts. How will you reach Ultimatum? What will the Ultimatum gameplay entail? And, the most important to many, what will Ultimatum reward us with? Let's tackle one at a time. Reaching Ultimatum will be simple. The end goal will be discovering the Tower of Ordeals, which will be reworked with this patch. Instead of fragments to the tower dropping in the 5 current forms of entirely Val content in the game, an entire droppable key leading to the tower will drop instead. Each of the areas where the key can drop will have around the same drop chance, including Val side areas which, as a result, will have their drop rates heightened. The Tower of Ordeals key can be used in the map device to open 6 portals to the first level of the Tower of Ordeals, which brings me to what we'll be doing inside the tower. It's time, exiles. It's time for Delve, but up, with some risk versus reward sprinkled in. The Tower of Ordeals isn't going to be a unique map anymore. It's going to be an area that scales up to its 100th level, the Pinnacle. Each floor of the tower pits you against a host of enemies, empowered with a modifier you choose, just like Ultimatum of the past. The enemies continue to scale and grow in power with more modifiers. Every 25 floors of the tower, you fight the Trial Master, whose strength and modifiers also scale. Every 25 floors, he has a greater chance to drop each of his uniques, with the 100th floor boasting the best chance to receive a powerful unique, like Hate Forge. Outside of those potential uniques, every floor will also add to your reward pool, just like Ultimatum of the past. You can choose from a tiny set of rewards and continue your climb, or you can decide to walk away with the rewards you've gained thus far. These reward types can be extremely varied, ranging from well-ruled rares to chunks of Val-based currency and valuable uniques. However, we'll also need to add a special chase item to the Tower of Ordeals loot table. I'm calling it the Entropic Orb. It acts just like a Val Orb, except it guarantees one of the positive corruption outcomes. It won't just corrupt an item, and it won't completely re-roll the modifiers of said item. It'll either give it corrupted implicits or grant it white sockets. It'll help guarantee you'll actually get something useful out of corruption, which might be a cool little gamble. I'm unsure how rare it should be, perhaps on par with Hinokora's Lock from the Totem mechanic, but I'm not the best balancer. So there we have it. I believe Ultimatum will be implemented as a new endgame system, basically Delve but with some risk and reward attached. Keys will drop from Val content, you can climb to the pinnacle 100th level of the Tower of Ordeals, amassing more risk and rewards along the way. Every 25 floors, you fight the Trial Master who gets stronger and stronger. One of the new special rewards will be the Entropic Orb, a better Val orb. Of course, I could be and probably am entirely off base and will either get Ultimatum as an in-map mechanic like in the League itself, or, I'm sorry to say, we might not get it at all. We'll find out in about a month when Chris Wilson and the rest of the Triple G team reveal what POE 3.23 will offer us. Does any other based Ultimatum enjoyer agree or disagree? What do you think Triple G will do with the Ultimatum mechanic come 3.23? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it, fellow exile. And here's an even bigger shout out to everyone who supports me on Patreon and through a YouTube membership. I'll be keeping the POE and beyond content coming as we chug toward 3.23 and POE 2. Please check out these other videos. I have an inkling you'll enjoy them. Tala Moana.